Yay, we are live, guys. Welcome back. It's been a week. Welcome to episode 23 of the Superhero Hour. I'm going to turn my volume down first because it's kind of separate. But anyway, how's it going, Lou? Lou?
Hold on, I got something playing in my ear.
Yeah, you had the show playing in your ear. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Pay attention. Anyway, guys, welcome back.
Yo, man, that's what happens when we take a week off, man. My mind is other places.
Yeah. Let's get to the nitty-gritty here. So, a couple of news items. You can see we've got a different show structure for you guys in the description here. We're working out to movies, TV shows, some things. TV shows, in terms of like announcements, we'll kind of run through those because it's announcements. And we'll delve into some stuff. Our main topic today is Justice League reshoot rumors.
Didn't hear any.
Oh yeah. Oh, you missed it out. It's yesterday and today. It's been buzzing around a couple of things. So just going to the link again from Heroic Hollywood. Two rumors or two things popped up. One is more factual. One is rumor. Factual one was Silas Stone, basically Victor Stone's father, the actor. He plays. He's a regular in the show Scandal, and he was asked about his role, and he said he was a small role. Asked about the reshoots, and he said, at least for him, there was nothing much really, but he does know for the he said for the young man who plays Cyborg that he had longer time in reshoots, and that was to add a little bit more levity to his character. So it looks like they're changing some of Cyborg's dialogue in some of his scenes to give him a slightly more humorous take. And when I mean humorous, don't get angry. I think again, it's just going to be, he might be witty. He will be the one where he'll give you straight dry jokes, kind of like that scene with Alfred and Cyborg, right? Where it's just deadpan. So I think some of that stuff you're going to find there. So that part, is cool. But we're doing the reshoots 2 to 3 months so far. A little bit extensive. And here's where some of that is coming from. There was a podcast. I can remember the guy who says he knows some stuff about the DCEU. And he says, I'm going to quote, this is from Heroic Hollywood. The link's in the description. He says, the original ending of the movie, from what I understand, was that he was kind of playing Silver Surfer, a.k.a. Steppenwolf role, and Darkseid was playing Galactus. And at the end of the movie, there was a cliffhanger that goes directly into Justice League 2 and was going to be Justice League versus Darkseid. Darkseid arrives at Earth. It was kind of like that, down and dirty ending. Basically, what they were saying is that they actually lost in Justice League 1. That was the storyline. That was supposed to be where it ends. And it leads into Justice League 2. The ending of the movie doesn't. So now the new ending does not have a cliffhanger. They did reshoots with Robin Wright, aka Antiope, from Wonder Woman, and it's going to be a flashback explaining more of Steppenwolf, who he is and how he's the big bad, and Darkseid is still involved, but less of that. So
I mean, it makes sense for the way they were going to structure Justice League to begin with.
Well, I mean, the way they were structured initially was part 1. And do you remember part 2 was immediately after?
They were supposed to shoot back to back.
Back to back, yeah. Now that it's not back to back, changing the ending actually makes sense. Where if you make it that now, in terms of the backstory flashback with Antiope, if Steppenwolf is still part of Darkseid's army in a sense, but he's no longer with Darkseid, then that's probably where you see that split. And that's why he came himself. That's the best thing I can think of. It's, because even in the comic book, Steppenwolf, he's Darkseid's uncle and he's his general, has his own ambitions, has his own motives.
Don't they all?
They all do. So if we see that Darkseid is kind of involved and less present, and Steppenwolf is just coming back now, if he's coming back on his own accord, then definitely. So I think that's where that plays in. I don't think it's a bad idea. I can see why they needed extensive reshoots now. And to me, this makes more sense. So a lot of people will still say, well, this is still changing the movie. And it's great. Like, no, not necessarily, because it says is that the storyline that Zack Snyder and Chris Terrio wanted is the same. Still the same. It's just the way they want it to end now. Because the ending was a cliffhanger. This one is not. So I think definitely makes sense.
I can go with it either way. It doesn't matter to me, I just enjoy how Twitter blows up over the dumbest shit with Zack Snyder.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it this way: there are people who just adamantly don't like the man. For
not even that they don't like the man. He's got massive love. He's got a following that is like loves him to death, and then you got the ones that just don't care for him. And honestly, there's no one that's in between. They're so adamant that it's like, this is still Zack Snyder's movie. This movie will be whoever the Directors Guild says it is. And that's it.
But you know what? You know the reason why. See, so the Snyder fan base only came about after they started dissing Man of Steel and BVS, mostly BVS. That's when you saw the Snyder fan base actually rise, because a lot of fans of Snyder, at least, are the ones who love the Man of Steel.
But okay, you and I both enjoy Man of Steel. Mm-hmm. You and I both enjoyed the Ultimate Edition of BVS.
Yeah.
But we can both say his version of BVS that he edited down was a hot mess.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, it's company edit. I mean,
granted, he was forced to do those edits, but it was a hot mess, and he needs to just own it.
I mean,
and so does the studio.
Yeah,
and the fans need to, and the fans need to stop writing his ass.
No, but see, that's the thing. It's a studio problem, right? You saw what's his name, the director of Suicide Squad, right? How he now has changed his tune after the movie came out and said, "Look, that Bright is a movie that he's not constrained by studio edits." Mind you, he didn't edit his own movie. Remember? No, that was completely,
the trailer park boys.
The guys who do. I mean, granted, those guys cut some really cool trailers. That's who they brought into.
That's trailers.
I'm just saying, but that's how it is, and it's one of those things there. Anyway, I don't know if there's anything else on that, but that is pretty much it on Justice League rumors and reshoots. I think it's pretty straightforward, but I know a lot of people. You're going to see a lot of websites spin it for you left and right in many different ways. I'll put it that way. Some other news, all
that noise.
Ian McShane, aka Mr. Wednesday from American Gods, is also going to be in the new Hellboy reboot. He plays Hellboy's adopted father in the reboot, so that is going to be interesting to see. Other news: Ant-Man and the Wasp has officially begun production.
Oh, they already got images out. I saw some today.
Yeah. And then Matt Mikkelsen says he's interested in playing Doctor Doom. I like Matt Mikkelsen. I think he's a good actor.
I'm intrigued with that. As long as if the script is good,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would be sold with it, but it's one of those where Fox's track record with the Fantastic Four characters hasn't been that great.
Hasn't been that great. It's a light use of the word.
It's not letting Whedon in.
Oh, all right. Yeah, it's the same link, so it's pretty. You might have to.
Can you call him in from your end?
No, I can't call him. I can only send out invites. So, that is. Let's see. Next up, Pacific Rim. It moves to March 2018 from February, which is fine. I mean, a lot of people would say, well, is it, delays the movie? It's actually better because February of next month is going to be owned by Black Panther of next year. So you might as well just move out.
Oh, shit. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's done. There you go, Charles.
Hello.
Welcome. Mm-hmm. Super late.
I had some stuff.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Yeah.
I know. But yeah, Pacific Rim moves to March. Black Panther is going to own February, so you might as well move out of the fray there. But then, when does Infinity War?
Damn, boy, that's going to be interesting. because you're gonna have Star Wars owning December, January, and then
Black Panther.
Disney will still end up owning February with Black Panther. But I think that's gonna be a close race.
What?
Star Wars and Black Panther.
No, Black Panther was seriously. By that time, trust me, Star Wars it will be number 2. It would die down to a solid number 2 spot. But I think Black Panther will totally own February.
They'll probably own February and March. Let's be real.
I don't know what else is in March next year. We know Infinity War is in May, so.
Yeah, well, we know for sure March is Pacific Rim 2.
2, yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. But anyway, we'll find out more as that moves along. So in other news, Chiwetel Ejiofor is in talks to be the voice of Scar in the Lion King remake. I like Chiwetel Ejiofor. I think he's a great actor, but I'm sorry if Alfred is still around to play this role. Why not use him when you're using Mufasa himself, aka Darth Vader, aka the man known as, the father of Hakim from Zamunda? I'm calling all the names that are not him.
Well, that would be funny if he's in Coming to America too. Retired in the corner of the palace. Hakim, you're doing this wrong.
See, I don't understand why they don't want to get Jeremy Irons, or it looks like they specifically do not want to get Jeremy Irons. He hasn't said that he doesn't want to do the role, but to me, I don't know what you
maybe they just did. They bring back Whoopi?
Who's Whoopi's character?
She was one of the hyenas. I think she was the main hyena.
No, they haven't. They haven't mentioned if she's coming back yet.
Yeah, she was definitely one of the old hyenas. But
see, I think what they want to do is you bring back James Earl Jones, but everybody else is fresh and new to the cast.
The thing about Jeremy Irons' voice for Scar is, I
agree with you, but
that raspiness in there that just gets in.
But listening to Chiwetel Ejiofor in an evil role, he sounds compelling too. Remember, he was the villain in what was that in the Firefly movie?
Serenity. He is cold and calculated. He's cold, calculated, but he's not evil, menacing. Scar was like this. This is Scar for you. Like, really digs in. Ejiofor is cool. He's very cold when he does his evil. It's like, stay away. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Charles?
I'm not happy with it. I mean, I will never be able to pronounce that man's name.
Mr. Ejiofor.
Mr. Ejiofor. But he is a great actor. I do agree with the fact of him playing his villains. He's usually cold. He's not really menacing. So, I mean, to be honest, I think it's a missed opportunity for them not to go with Jeremy Irons again. Because I don't think anybody could ever replace Jeremy Irons as Scar. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You see, there we go, Victor. Ejiofor should have been in Black Panther.
But he can't. He's in Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah.
Now, unless they're going to introduce sorcery into the Black Panther, then I would have agreed with you there.
I forgot, man. He's the only one who's African out of all of them. Just joking. Actually, it's true.
Chadwick Boseman ain't African?
No, I mean, it's American. Yeah.
Well, what the hell? He plays a good African. Did you see Message from the King?
No, not yet. I will check it out.
I know you were mentioning it last week.
Yeah, I was going to. I just haven't. I thought you've been watching Suits, but
you were busy with my new computer build, bro. I understand. You're forgiven.
That is a good joke, but yeah, I'll take that. No, that was a build I built that with my cousin. That was actually a cool build. I really liked that.
I know. And like I said, man, LG sent my monitor to the wrong address.
Yeah, they did. I know, right? God, just bastards.
You need to fix that.
You know what? Let me get my phone out. I'm gonna call them up.
You should have them on speed dial.
All right, so Jessica Chastain is confirmed as the role as villain in Dark Phoenix, which is the Shi'ar Empire.
Now, okay, I'm confused here. Because when I seen them in the animated cartoon, weren't they like allies, or did they first start off as enemies and became allies?
First as enemies, and then she fell in love with Professor X, and
Well, everybody seems to fall in love with the man in the wheelchair.
yeah, so you know how that goes. But yeah,
That bald head, boy. I'm telling you.
What do you think, Charles?
What did you call them again? The Shi'ar Empire?
Shia, right? I said Shia, sorry. Like
no. The reason why I say that is because when you say Shi'ar Empire, it reminds me of the tall Shi'ar from Star Trek.
It's not the tall Shi'ar.
Yeah, but it really reminds me of the tall Shi'ar from Star Trek, man. I mean, those freaking Romulans. But to be honest, I'm actually interested to see Jessica Chastain play the villain in Dark Phoenix. I am very interested to see it. It'll be a different take on the overall X-Men movies because all the movies we've had so far, even the standalone Wolverine movies, have only involved mutants. This will be the first X-Men movie that will involve aliens. So they'll end up going into the cosmic aspect of the X-Men universe. And I think that is going to be, to put it simply, I think it's going to have a lot of potential. I think it might be enough to save their shared universe. Maybe.
You know what this reminds me of? Everyone wants to go cosmic now because of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Even Thor is following suit.
I mean, everyone goes cosmic.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how that goes.
We've got 6 X-Men movie in with the most jankiest timeline of all. So what the hell? Why not go cosmic finally?
Mm-hmm. And then Wonder Woman Blu-ray and digital HD release info is finally here. September 19th for the Blu-ray, digital HD August 29th. The Blu-ray has some features. One's on Ether Candy, a couple of features on the beach battle, Themyscira itself, Wonder Woman at War. So it looks like they've got some nice extras, in the BVS had a lot of really good extras in that too. So I think with Wonder Woman still in theaters, and I think it's just very weird because it's going to come out for the US. It's going to come out while the movie's still in theaters because August 29th.
Yeah, but you gotta understand,
it's doing well.
It's doing well, over 400 million domestically. Spider-Man over 300 million.
Internationally, it's not pulling its weight as I would have hoped.
Should have.
A lot of markets.
The key is, remember, movies are released 90 days after their first weekend in the movies.
Yeah.
So you have that coming out at the end of the month. In the middle of September, we get The Last Night, which not too many people watched, obviously.
Nah, I haven't seen that movie.
Well, you'll get to watch it then.
Maybe.
I still think it was a pretty good movie, but I am ready for Michael Bay to officially say I am not coming back, and they better just stick to it. It needs a new set of eyes to tell the story.
They need to use the Bumblebee movie as a reboot.
They don't need to reboot it because the way they ended this movie is brilliant. The only issue I had is a slight spoiler. They're not using the traditional Unicron from the animated movie.
I already knew that.
They're using Unicron from Transformers Prime, where he was part of the Earth.
Oh, okay.
So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, they're going that way. A lot of this stuff that they're doing, it's not from G1. They're cherry picking the whole universe itself. Like if you look at Optimus with the sword, where does Optimus have a sword at? Transformers Armada.
Yeah,
Laser Optimus Prime.
True.
And they focus heavily on the Unicron storyline. And that one, they told that one over 3 different story arcs.
Okay.
So they don't need to reboot it, but I like what they did with Bumblebee. Scaling it back. Granted, I think it was the wrong play to put it up against Aquaman.
It's going to move.
You're probably right, it will, but we'll see. And then it's not as expensive, and then mainly the whole filming location is California.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I just don't. Only downside I don't like is John Cena being in the movie. What the hell is he gonna be? You can't see me, Bumblebee.
Have you seen John Cena in any movie?
He sucks.
No, he doesn't actually. He sucked initially.
Dude, I watched it. I'm sorry. Before we watched Wonder Woman last night, we put on The Wall with him and Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
That movie sucked. We didn't last 10 minutes.
No,
it was horrible.
The movie is not that great, but it actually wasn't bad. Actually, it was good. I think he and Aaron Taylor were trying on a bad movie and a bad script. That was just it. There's a difference when it's a bad movie when you know your actors are like, let me try.
I'm sorry. I just don't see John Cena as a freaking sniper.
Have you seen guys in the military that are snipers? Now you have no idea what they look like, my friend. You have no idea.
John Cena doesn't sell it for me.
No, see, that's the thing. If you know people in the military, it doesn't matter. And to me, that's the thing. I knew people who were snipers who were skinnier than me, and you guys were snipers who were bigger than me. So it doesn't matter. You're a sniper. It really does not matter. The only thing is, are you prepared to sit down? No. Are you? No. The only one thing I'll say as a sniper is, are you prepared to piss and shit where you are for a week without moving?
That is the key.
Yes. Because if you're in enemy territory, you're undercover, you know, in camouflage, there's leaves, the bushes around you, and you're waiting for that one shot to take out Bin Laden or whoever, then, I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're big or small. It just matters, like, you know, how still and calm you can be.
To me, John Cena, I liked him in that movie with Amy Schumer, was it The Train?
Yeah.
I thought he was funny there. Trainwreck. He was okay there. What else was he in?
Well,
I remember like one of his earlier movies was like something called the Marine or the Soldier.
Yeah, the Marine.
Like,
the Marine.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was but that was like one of his first movies.
Yeah, and even that too wasn't bad. I was like, he needs work, but I mean, he's there. You know, to me, the problem John Cena is just going to face is the same thing The Rock faced, except The Rock was a little better, is because The Rock is the most charismatic of all the wrestlers have come out, right? And the beauty that Batista got is that he got Guardians where he could be deadpan and deliver. Now Cena has to just find the right tool. I say Cena, it's just that he has this cut and look, but I wish Cena, I think as an actor, is the right person for Shazam.
I want that though. For some reason, I want him, so him and The Rock can go at it, and it would be brilliant.
That would be kind of cool.
It would be brilliant. I wish, to me, Cena should try and get Shazam. Like, try his hardest, whatever he needs to do to get that role. Because
oh my God,
because already it's not already at that point, right? Because if you have him, you have Henry Cavill, and then you have The Rock. Like, you want a Royal Rumble of that three, just duking it out. On screen.
I could see the branding that The Rock would do with the WWE and Cena if those two were Black Adam and Shazam. Yeah. Oh my God, they would have another WrestleMania match in 2 years. The hype would be real, and it would be great because you would have them. They're gonna duke it out on the big screen, but before that, you can watch them duke it out in the ring.
Yeah. Now, and before we finish the movie news, in March next year, I am going to be shooting Terminator 6. James Cameron and David Ellison are back, and after that comes Conan. So Arnold is back. It looks like he's going to be working out in the gym.
Oh, he's been working out.
Okay.
Although James Cameron says he's back because he's taking the franchise in a very different direction this time. So
now, you said this is chronologically this is Terminator 6, but like I mean, are they going to be like retconning like Salvation or Genesis?
I don't know. I have no idea. I think they have an idea of what they want to do, and they will do it. And
I'm hoping that they retcon Rise of the Machines, Salvation, and Genesis, because as far as I'm concerned, out of those three movies, Genesis is the best one, but I think all three of them should be scrapped.
To me, if you want to play Terminator, you either go away from the John Connor storyline and you can still have a T-800. Mm-hmm. You just have to pick a different storyline, or your timeline is broken out. Like, you literally have to do that to just change it. And it's still about a 10-minute timeline. It really doesn't matter. It's just that now timeline is broken completely out. And this is now a new movie, and all that still happened, but it's just there on that spot, and that's pretty much it. But
Okay.
I mean, we'll see what they do at that point. Now, before we move to TV, here is something I wanted to. I don't know if anyone has said it, but probably people have. This is what I believe is happening for Phase 4 in Marvel, and I'm laying out my case for it.
Lay it on us. Let's see what you got.
And I think this is, Phase 4 is Secret Invasion, Secret Wars, for two reasons. One of that actually is because of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We know it's going to be S.W.O.R.D. next year, or at least part of S.W.O.R.D., because he's in space, Coulson. The second half is the fact that Captain Marvel takes place in the 80s. And she will not be in Infinity War. 90s. Thank you. 90s. She will not be in Infinity War. And she's also not on Earth. And to me, I think what happened is the Kree had already infiltrated Earth. She got her powers from Marvel. That movie ends. She and what's his name?
Nick
Fury sent her to find out the source of, the Kree invasion, and he will look for Kree agents on Earth. And that's
that could explain why she's been gone.
And that explains why she goes, and you come back.
But see, now, I want to pose this. Out of the Avengers, who do you feel is a Skrull agent?
Skrull agent.
We can't say Captain America because we know he's not. See, the theory they're running with right now is probably Hawkeye.
I mean, yeah, Hawkeye is always the easiest one because that's somebody who we've not delved into the character that much, right? Mm-hmm. That's a very easy person to switch out. If they really want to trip it, and at that point of time, they take out Tony Stark, then Tony Stark is the Skrull. And that's how you take him out of your franchise.
I don't think they want to take him out just yet.
No, just yet. You say that he was captured as a kid, and then you can reintroduce a different actor who's frozen. You still remember the Skrull never kill you; they just replace you and put in your stasis. That's how it was in the comic books, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how you bring in your other actor, who eventually takes over down the line. I'm just saying that's a very nice way of Tony Stark's final movie. He is the bad guy. He truly is the bad guy. He's a Skrull.
Well, I mean, if you think about it,
it begins and ends with Stark. Just do it that way.
Yeah, that would be good. But not a lot of people, but Robert Meyer Burnett feels like Tony Stark was the villain in Homecoming.
No, it wasn't the villain in Homecoming.
Okay, if he doesn't do what he does, Michael Keaton's character probably doesn't become the old bitter angry man stealing all the junk and weaponizing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but the thing about it is that this universe is Tony Stark's Marvel universe. Everything is a residual action of him. Just like Superman, this is his universe, no matter how you look at it. Because every action so far in DC is a residual action because of him. Wonder Woman came back because of him. So it's the same thing with Tony Stark. Everything that happens in the Marvel universe has some unintended consequences that he causes. Remember, even his villain in Iron Man 3, he didn't know. Remember, he just let the guy go and the guy became a villain. That was it. So I think that's just the way it is. Agent 13, yes, definitely. I think you're going to have people like that be Skrull agents, definitely.
Peggy Carter was a Skrull?
Yeah, that could be.
But she dies of old age and Alzheimer's?
I mean, no, Peggy. I mean, not Peggy. The niece could be. There's so many things they could definitely. So many people they could pick and choose in there to be Skrull agents. I think that would make a lot of sense, and I think it would be interesting. And then you now have. That's where you can even bring in a lot of the Netflix characters now up to help. Because no, I'm just saying if Nick Fury now realizes that Tony Stark is a Skrull agent, he needs people that Stark has no direct connection to at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is Daredevil. That is the whole Defenders right there, immediately. He can't even trust Spider-Man because he's thinking Spider-Man is his guy. And that's a whole different ball game you can play.
I don't know, bro. As much as I would like to see it, but
no, I'm not
they're
saying
not on that roster level wise.
No, but remember, they are. But the thing is how you make it happen. Remember, Secret Wars I'm talking about is after 2019. What happens in 2019? Disney has its own streaming service. Disney can fully make.
You really want to segue there?
I didn't try to, but you're the one who actually brought it up when you mentioned that. Disney can make Secret Wars a full-fledged thing where you see different aspects of storylines on their streaming service, and then the main story is still there. Now they can have a true cohesive universe if they want to.
Now we're all one Be Better branded because it's on our streaming service that we're going to charge you for, because Netflix wasn't enough. Hulu is not enough. CBS All Access ain't enough.
No, it's not just about enough. Let's just be frank. If I owned Disney, if I was the CEO of Disney, I would have done this years ago. It's not even that. As soon as I bought Lucasfilms, I would create a service. I own 50% of all entertainment on the planet, all top tier entertainment. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can say what you want to say. Let's put it this way. I have the whole Disney cartoon catalog, right? I have now the new Disney live action movie catalog. I have all of Pixar, okay? Then I have the whole of Marvel, right? And then I have the crown jewel. I have all Star Wars. Minus us just making movies normally, by the way.
See, what you just brought up there, watching Jedi Council yesterday, I think makes more sense. The reason they've held back on any Star Wars live action shows is for this platform.
No, I said it. I said 2019, it is going to launch with a live action Star Wars. Why? You know why?
That's what's going to draw viewership.
Not even that. Now you finished the Skywalker storyline. Star Wars.
If they do a show,
no,
they're not touching on the Skywalkers.
Exactly. That's why I said. But you've now officially finished that storyline in the movies. 9 movies. Episode 9, right? Yeah, 9 movies completing the Skywalker saga.
Skywalkers will never die as long as Ben Solo's alive. Rey is not a Skywalker.
No. It's not. You missed the point. Even the future movies will be different Jedis and different storylines at that point. They may be Skywalkers, yes, but Disney's going to, because they know very well you can't totally stick to that. You will bring in elements in. Remember, people love seeing lightsabers and Jedi. Doesn't matter whether you're Skywalker or not. Rey is that beginning of not a Skywalker leading the trend.
What I would like to see is the Old Republic done right.
So but what's something you could do any storyline, but now you can expand on the TV show again with the Marvel stuff. You can now create. If you're saying you want to do Secret Wars, right? And you're like, but there's some elements of Secret Wars that would like to lay some groundwork in. We can do that on our smaller TV shows. That's it. Now you can also throw out all those. Remember, I mentioned it earlier today. Pixar, they have a lot of shorts that they put out that they make. That once in a while they'll throw in a Blu-ray here and that goes on.
Well, what was I going to say? Shit. What Lou said, mentioning Old Republic. Are you talking about Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah, you could turn that into a TV series.
To be honest, I highly doubt that'll happen. Look, I am with you right there. I think they should do something with the Knights of the Old Republic arc because, in my opinion, that's like one of the greatest Star Wars stories ever told. However, it is not canon. Disney does not recognize that story as canon.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter though.
It's not about canon right now.
Yeah, no, they can make the story canon if they wanted to.
As soon as Pablo Hidalgo and Leland Chi decide, you know what, guys, we're making the Knights of the Old Republic canon, and here's how we're doing it.
Yeah,
it will
exactly.
be on our streaming service in 2019. We're differing the storyline a little bit.
They would have to.
They already cherry pick from the extended universe with
the
certain
Darth Bane, They did it with Darth Bane. They also did it with the Mandalorians in Clone Wars.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. It's what they just mean is that is not canon until we decide to make it canon. That's it.
Do you have any idea how people are going to go nuts for it to become canon?
No, they don't have to know. They know they don't look. They don't care what people think. It's Star Wars. I will look. If I own, like right now, Catherine Kennedy knows whatever I say is golden.
Yep.
Simple.
And remember,
this is what
I promise you, what we're discussing here, just as us little regular people, they mapped out what they plan to do 3 to 4 years in advance. And that is probably somewhere on their map. They got what they want to do.
Exactly.
I guarantee you probably the next set of anthology movies will be an Obi-Wan trilogy.
I mean, they can do whatever they want, but even that too, like I said, you can now start creating Star Wars content. Like, remember, think about it, Star Wars is one. Like I said, for me, Star Wars is one. The Marvel one, I think, is even bigger because you can literally create you know how, think about it. They looked, I can guarantee Disney looked at CW and went like, we actually like what they've done. That's a universe on its own. It may be cheesy. They have issues. How can we do that? ABC, not the best platform. On our streaming network? Ooh.
But you make sense there.
Ooh, think about it. Just think about all the things they can do, different show-wise or different heroes or even general story to larger story.
Yeah. The question is, how long do they have the Netflix characters under contract?
So
remember, Netflix now went back on the renegotiation tables to keep the Marvel movies.
The movies, yes.
Star Wars.
Yeah, man, that is easier. That is actually easier because it's movies. So remember, not TV shows. You see, you heard that quite well. So, and Disney will, I guarantee you that deal will go through because Disney wants you to watch Star Wars digital
on
download
all kinds of platforms.
On all kind of stuff. Now, Star Wars TV show, Marvel TV show, all those kind of things. That's what you want to watch on Disney's network, right? Disney originals.
Here we go. This season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was set up 2017, 18, 19. Most likely set up what Charles has been waiting for, Agents of S.W.O.R.D. that will go fully on the streaming platform.
Yeah, I mean, S.W.O.R.D. can be, I mean, again, like I said, that's why I said it's a build-up and I think will happen. I think they have the right mindset and they can do all those. See, when Disney was talking about making comic book movies forever, I think they were also looking at where it is right now in terms of what can we do with our platform. This is Disney. Disney looks at it and goes, how can we make things bigger? Right now, we have, and if you look at Warner Brothers on the other side, they don't, but they actually do have a benefit of if they merge with AT&T, you do know AT&T is going to push that thing out like, you can get all your HBO, your Warner Brothers movies, plus your DC movies all in one spot.
But like you said, the CW built their universe. Black Lightning will be part of that universe come next season. Not this new season, but the following season. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get at least one more comic book character on that damn network. Because it seems to be everything they start new sucks and gets canceled. Only thing working for them is this.
I mean, they know it. I mean, they've added Elongated Man to Flash. We know that's coming. He's coming in there, which is cool. I'm glad that they're adding somebody completely different, not a speedster. You know, it might be a wacky hero, but you know, we'll see how we use them. Speaking of which, is funny though. And it looks like Google crawlers are doing some weird stuff here. So Nene Emmanuel asked a question. He said, have you heard the rumor that Justice League is currently unwatchable? And then the next video that's queued up for me to watch switched. And it now is a video from Hybrid Network that says, Justice League is totally unwatchable, major reshoots. And I was like, Google, come on, stop crawling on my
But
life.
you said that earlier. These websites will spin it with the most tackiest of clickbait material.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing, though. They are currently finishing reshoots. I think this is the last 2 weeks of reshoots on the movie. You don't have a cut. And it's closing tight, but you don't have a cut. When you're talking about currently unwatchable, it's probably currently unwatchable. It's probably like half of it is edited, and that's it. Like the first half of the movie, but they're adding a few things to that first half, so it's going to be unwatchable. Let's be factual. It even is, but it's not the same thing as making it seem like it's bad. It's literally they're making edits to change certain things, and a lot of those changes are not scenes; it's dialogue. And a lot of that dialogue is a little humor, as you know, we found out for Cyborg, a little humor and some story points. If the rumor is true that Steppenwolf is going to be more of a standalone villain with loose connection to Darkseid, then that reshoot with Robin Wright is a brand new scene that's added most likely somewhere between the beginning or the first part of the movie for us to understand the villain. So, yeah, it's unwatchable because the damn thing's not finished. I mean,
it's being redone. I mean, dude,
everyone
complained about the Rogue One reshoot.
No, forget that. Remember, Wonder Woman was also unwatchable earlier this year, right?
I don't buy any of that crap.
I'll put it this way: if they said the movie was unwatchable in October, okay, then I'm a little scared at that point, because at that point, October. Remember, the movie comes out in November. October is when everyone. And you start getting that early buzz, and just that little early, like somebody here watched and what, yeah. But we're in August, and they still got September and October to finish editing the movie. Because right now, what they're going through is they are. Remember, some scenes need special effects, so you're doing. It's going to be a very tight squeeze for them. So, which is why Josh Whedon isn't saying anything. The guy hasn't spoken really. And right now you're hearing from Ben Affleck, you're hearing from even Zack Snyder.
He's busy working.
Yeah.
One thing about Josh Whedon, when he does a movie like the Avengers, that kind of scale, he puts his all into it.
Exactly. And I mean, it's the same thing with Snyder too. You can see, remember when Snyder finished BVS and he started shooting Justice League, you saw that picture of him and Jason Momoa that he looked like he had lost like 10 pounds. And Snyder works out constantly. So just wait till the movie comes out, and we'll see how it is. At what point we see Brainiac?
Hopefully, Man of Steel
2. But I think we'll see Superman first in Shazam. I think that script that Shazam director put out that had funny. It was all funny. It was bullshit. It was all funny bullshit. But I think the factual point that Superman was in that is what he's telling everybody in there. I think he just literally put it out to show that Superman's in there, but he wrote a funny script that had nothing to do with the movie, where Superman,
blur.
stuff like that. So I think they're hinting about that. We'll see how that goes.
Does that take me back to the discussion about Smallville earlier?
I tried to get my cousins to watch Smallville. They told me the special effects were too old.
Oh, but you want to know something? My son is rewatching Smallville, and he's doing it on his own because he never really finished it. And last Friday, when I was hanging out with him on his day off, I'm like, God, this shit is cheesy.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. He was looking at it. He's like, oh, why is there a villain every week? I'm like this. I'm like, because you know how we have some random weird villains in Flash and Arrow that make no sense to the general storyline? They came from Smallville. Smallville introduced all that stuff. That is where we got the freak of the week.
That was true. Smallville didn't have one big long arc with a villain. It was always a new villain each week.
Freak of the week constantly in Smallville. Remember Smallville also had its own mini Justice League? Remember Smallville also had Green Arrow?
I enjoyed that. The JSA, I enjoyed it in
They had
Smallville.
Cyborg, they had Flash, they had...
Did we have a Smallville? I mean, a Cyborg?
Yes,
it did.
Smallville did. Lee Thompson Young played.
He passed away earlier this year.
Remember, we had Aquaman.
Aquaman was terrible.
So stupid. I hated that Aquaman.
You know, they also tried an Aquaman TV show.
Yes, they did.
They had a pilot.
And the actor that played Green Arrow in Smallville was Aquaman in the Aquaman TV show.
Yeah, I like the guy who played Green Arrow. When I like him as Oliver Queen better than Then
oh no, the Green Arrow costume in Smallville was so freaking cheap.
It was cheesy. I preferred him.
It was cheap.
I preferred him over Kevin Stephen Amell's Oliver Queen, because Oliver Queen is the true womanizer in the DCU. The only other person who comes close to him is Nightwing. Those two are terrible womanizers. I mean, not womanizers, but they just like to hook up with everybody.
They love to soak their royal oaks
all over the place. But I thought, I mean, there's some cool. Look, there were things that were cool in the show. Then you had, Bart.
Oh, really? You know what? They took a page out of the out of the Green Lantern movie with the stupid cloud. Darkseid is a freaking cloud or a hologram, and Superman, who finally learns how to fly in the final damn episode of the series, and then he ain't even wearing the goddamn suit.
Nah, they superimpose his head on Banner Routh's body. Okay. Anyway, let's go.
Darkseid. He's a cloud of poo.
Let's move to other TV stuff. CW's crossover event is set for 2 nights in late November instead of the traditional each show night. So,
but I like what they're doing there. Monday night will be Smallville and Arrow.
You mean
that
Supergirl?
Only
Supergirl.
Okay. Yeah, he turned down the role on Supergirl.
Yeah, do I blame him? That show is horrible.
He could have brought back his roots, man. He should have been our Superman. Oh, that would have been brilliant. He tied the universe all together.
No. He should, if they wanted to bring him back, because he was saying this. He said, "I'm not in the same universe," and he was just putting it that way. I was like, actually, that's very easily solved in
with Barry.
No. Actually, he shouldn't show up in Supergirl. He should show up in Flash. Like literally, they're trying to get. How they're trying to get Barry back. And Wally shows up on an Earth with Tom Welling as Superman, a different Earth, and and he's like, "Where are you?" It's like, "I'm looking for a friend." It's like, "You're the Flash, though." I mean, he knows in his world, he knows the Flash, but he's like, "No, I'm from somewhere else." And he bounces. That's how you just do a little cameo, and it's fine because in his world, he's Superman. It's completely different. That's how I would do it. I won't put him as a regular. Yeah, I won't put him as a regular. I'll just put him as he's Superman from a different world.
Man, but for the crossover, it'll be Supergirl, Arrow, then Flash, Legends, Monday, Tuesday for that week.
Speaking of Legends, Legends adds Jesse McCann to a recurring role. Who's Jesse McCann again?
I have no idea.
I can't remember who she was.
I just looked it up. You're talking about the new character that's coming to season 3 of Legends of Tomorrow, correct?
Okay. Yes.
She's playing a character named Ava Sharp, who is an agent with a secret government bureau known as the Time Bureau. That's tasked with regulating and preserving the timeline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good news. The Legends of Tomorrow want to add John Constantine to the cast.
Does that mean we're getting Matt Ryan?
Yeah, they want Matt Ryan as John Constantine. I mean, he's already part of that universe. So.
Oh, because the fact that this season is going to deal with what's her face's
Mystics
cousin, grandmother.
Yeah, part of her
Vixen, someone in her family line.
Yeah,
her grandmother.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it'd be nice to have him back, and I think that would be a good.
Even if it's for 2 episodes, I'd be happy.
Yeah. Black Lightning adds Marvin Krondon as the villain.
Yeah, he's a LA-based rapper.
Although, I'm looking at the villain and look at him, I'm like, yeah, kind of fits. Even though he's not as big, but yeah, I'm like, he does kind of fit.
Well, the villain's name is Tobias Whale, and looking at the photo, it's like, well, it fits.
Yeah. Tobias Whale, thank you, yeah. Westworld 2 adds a bunch of people.
Our boy from Vikings, Charles.
Yeah. Yep, he adds Gustaf
Loki.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, I have to ask. If Gustaf Skarsgård is going to be acting in Westworld, does that mean that his character is going to be killed off in Vikings?
No,
It doesn't have to be, bro.
no.
Westworld is filming now. Vikings already filmed.
And then you also have Faris from Tyrant and Betty Gabriel from Get Out. All joined the cast. All good actors. I've seen them. I've seen all three of them, and pretty good stuff. So I mean, Westworld is just trying to add good talent. Can't always
be mad at talent.
Yeah. And
there was another casting news for Flash.
Flash adds Lynn Baird as Sugar.
Who is that?
She's from the movie Sausage Party, and joins the cast now coming as Rebecca Sharp, aka Hazard. So I don't know who Hazard is, but they're probably picking a B-list villain or hero or whoever Hazard is. She has a 2-episode arc.
She's a villain, then.
Yeah,
that's an interesting two episodes for her.
Yeah. So that.
Oh God! Did you see the news that they might bring back the Huntress for season 6?
Yeah. I saw that. Victor says, any Nightwing casting rumors? None. Director mentioned a few weeks back, or maybe I think last week, that the reason why you didn't hear about Nightwing on its DC slate is that the movie's still going on. He's just not satisfied with the script, because he was initially everyone thought he was going to do Lego Movie 2 after he did Lego Batman, and he actually is doing the Nightwing movie. The one thing I liked about him is he said all he said is that anyone who's going to play at Nightwing is going to have to do a lot of stunts. And he wants somebody who is physically capable, because he's a very big Nightwing fan, and he believes you have to showcase Dick Grayson as much as possible. It's easier if somebody can do all this. It's kind of like Tom Holland with Spider-Man. I mean, the guy does a lot of flips. He's very acrobatic. He does what do you call those things again? Free running. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but yeah, he's very agile and also very acrobatic. So it makes it easier when he's doing it. So with Nightwing too, where he's not wearing a mask. Remember, all he has is this. So you need somebody who can really do at least most of that, and then the stunt guys would do the rest. That's no close up. Nothing that's really close in there. So I'll say wait and see. I think it's going to be there. I think right now on that end of things, they are probably thinking, what are we going to do with the storyline between the Batman and Nightwing? And all revolves around what he wants to do with the Batman. I think they're probably sitting down and they're going, Nightwing is coming, so you have to introduce him into your world, or he has to be in there in some form of fashion. You don't have to mention him, or you can have his outfit in your thing. Now, the Nightwing movie doesn't have to have Batman, but it can always have Alfred. You don't have to have Batman in there, because you could have something where he calls and he goes, I can get Master Bruce for you. He's like, no, I don't need help. I just need to get something from you. You know how it is. You could place it in any point in time. And the Nightwing movie can also show up timeline anywhere you want. It doesn't have to be current timeline too, by the way. As long as it just fits into Batman's timeline. That's all that matters.
I can roll with that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we just have to wait and see with Nightwing. We do know that with Flashpoint, Wonder Woman is going to be in there. Well, it's not really confirmed, but that's...
Bro, I mean, we're going to get Wonder Woman. We should get Maggie and Negan back.
Definitely Cyborg. Remember, he was the head of Resistance.
See, I don't remember the movie too well, but...
Cyborg was the only superhero left.
Now,
Batman, remember?
This will introduce the Reverse Flash.
Yeah, the Reverse Flash is still going to be in there.
Who will they get to play the Reverse Flash?
We'll have to see. Like I said before, I think Robert Zemeckis is going to direct the movie because he hasn't done anything. Number one. Number two, he is DC's head's favorite director. And number three.
Yeah, but he's probably trying to figure out how much money he could throw at him.
And number three, he likes to do time travel movies. They're called Back to the Future.
Isn't that the only time travel movie he's ever really done?
and they are the best time travel movies.
That doesn't necessarily mean that that's his preferred genre to deal with.
How many time travel movies do you do with Back to the Future again?
Three.
Let me see.
Three.
1, 2, 3. Good one.
Yeah, but that was a trilogy. He was trying to keep that story.
No, look, let's
The
go
three
this way.
movies are a trilogy that count as one.
Let me tell you
Oh,
this way.
hell no,
Okay.
Victor. No, and no.
What did Victor say?
Randy Orton for the Reverse Flash. No,
Randy-
with the double hell no.
Oh, come on, man. Really? No wrestlers for Reverse Flash. You can't have Randy Orton.
That man can't act to save his wrestling career.
That is bad. If you can't do that, that is.
He can wrestle, but man, he
He's
sucked
too
at the
big.
freaking Marine.
Too big.
And he sucked in the Shooter. The one episode he was in, he sucked at that.
Nah, come on. No Randy Orton for this. Nah, you need.
At this point, I'm open for anything. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think our best Reverse Flash so far, hell, the only Reverse Flash that we've really gotten recently would be Tom Cavanaugh. So whoever they're going to pick for the Reverse Flash in the movie,
you can't just
I'm
say
fine.
Tom Cavanaugh, Charles. Remember, Tom Cavanaugh was part of his identity for the first half of that season.
I don't know the name of the other actor that played him.
But that other actor who played him was pretty good. He's supposed to come back eventually in Legends of Tomorrow, I think it is.
I don't know how that's possible because he was killed by the Black Flash. Spoiler alert.
It's timeline, man. It's all
Timeline,
time.
bro. It's all timeline.
Don't matter. Especially, look, the Speed Force. Let me tell you the funny thing about it, though. The guys in Legends of Tomorrow are more dangerous in messing up everyone's life than Barry Allen. Now, the Speed Force can tap into time. Time can mess up the Speed Force. Just it. So it's that kind of mixture you get there, which is why like they had to. You cannot make Legends of Tomorrow a serious show. You have to make it wacky. You really do, because nothing really makes sense, and you're dealing with like time changes and things like that. So
I mean, seriously, dude, we're going to the circus this season.
Yeah, at least at some point for the season. Yeah. So I mean, that's why I said I actually like the show, because it feels throwaway, but it's also a comic book show that I don't really have to think too much to enjoy it. I just go like, yeah, okay.
You introduce in the first 2 episodes your whole season arc, and then you just play with the rest of the season.
Yeah, which is why I was like, yeah, last season to me, that last season was the second best season in CW after Arrow, because if you watch it all the way through from beginning to end, I binged like the last 10 episodes, and I was like, oh, it makes sense with the Spear of Destiny. You use that because in DC Universe, God is still the highest power there, and in Marvel, the highest power is the most powerful character is Stanley. Stanley has the power. Yeah, I've learned the character that's basically Stanley. He can.
Isn't it called the One Above All or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, he's the most.
I remember that godlike creature, the One Above All, like communicated with Peter Parker at one point.
Yeah,
where Peter Parker was having like a crisis of some kind, and this One Above All took the form of a homeless man and just pretty much sort of like talked Peter down and like made him realize his purpose or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much Stanley. That's just it in Marvel. But yeah, so I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the season turns out there. In terms of other news, I mean that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else this week.
Well, I gave you 2 weeks worth of news.
Yeah, in there. Defenders starts is next week, so we'll probably give you first 4 episodes during the show.
Bro, you're telling me we can't be done with 8 episodes by Saturday night?
I'm not trying to kill myself.
Dude, you could put Bored at work. You could put Bored at Night on pause next weekend.
I know what you're talking about.
I mean, I would probably end up finishing Defenders probably in a couple of days, most likely.
It's only 8 episodes. We can finish that shit Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, here's a funny thing. HBO's no, I'm in town next week, but I have friends coming into town, which is why I was like, I'm just going to do 4 episodes.
Now I see why you.
Yeah.
They tried to pay the hackers in $250,000 worth of bitcoins.
Yeah, they tried to pay the hackers. But what was the most viewed episode?
Last week's?
Last week had massive ratings. Huge.
Dude, it was a bomb-ass episode. Get it? Bomb.
Like I said on Geeks of the Round, Lannisters roasting on an open fire.
Yes, they were.
Yep.
Daenerys sends her regards.
Yep.
Oh, that meme was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I watched the first 5 episodes of Voltron, Dustin. It was okay. I still have to watch the final 2. I like what they did, putting the characters in their rightful lions, and they got rid of that stupid Shishio guy. He don't need to be part of the team.
Shiro.
Whatever his name is.
Not Shishio. Oh, another news. Judge Dredd, it looks like it's coming back as a TV show. Don't know exactly where. I am excited to see this. I hope it goes to HBO, man. I just hope. Just
or
because,
Netflix.
I mean, yeah, nah. I actually want HBO. HBO would. That's the one thing.
I want my binge, man.
No, it's not that. There's one thing. This is all. Even though Netflix and HBO are kind of the same, everyone would say is this: the level of quality in terms of production value. Netflix is not there yet.
All right, I can't hold it in any longer. I have to say something.
What?
Have you guys already talked about Hellboy?
Yeah, we talked about Ian McShane as adopted father.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the article on Heroic Hollywood about Ian McShane, and the more I look at it and the more I think about it, I'm like, dude, no, Ian McShane is a great actor. I just can't see him as Professor Broom. I can't.
Really? Come on.
I can't see it. I mean, look, even if you were to give him like the poofed up hair and the big beard and the big like goatee beard thing that Professor Broom has, I'm sorry, it doesn't work for Ian McShane's face. It doesn't work. I mean, I'm sorry.
What about this? Is not in the notes, but what about the fact that they just casted Miss Resident Evil herself?
I just looked that up on IMDb just to double check to see if anybody else got cast. Mila Jovovich is playing the Blood Queen. Personally, I don't know much about the Blood Queen, so I only know that she's like the queen of the witches. She's like one of the most powerful witches. But I am very excited to see her playing the Blood Queen.
I'm fine with it because she's been in Resident Evil way too long. It's time for her to
move on to new things.
Thank you. No, I agree. I think she's a good actress. I think she'll be able to handle that. So.
Oh yeah, she's always been a great actress. I just think Resident Evil was some of her worst work.
Also,
I enjoyed the movie.
No, I do agree. Like Resident Evil is just good fun, bad movie watching. That's what it's.
I've only seen the first 3. I tried to watch the 4th one. I couldn't do it, and I just quit after that. I didn't want to watch any of the rest.
All you do is just. If you're at home, pop a big bag of popcorn, sit back, and enjoy the ridiculousness.
And feel the brain cells die off one by one.
Oh, I just wanted to mention to people, just so no one asked the question here, but I've seen it a lot. I just want to state it. Ben Affleck has not signed any contract, as we know. There were so many sites who ran it for.
Oh, God, who ran with that stupid-ass rumor
that he signed a 3-deal contract, yada, yada, yada. He has not. I will tell you this, the next contract he signs, if he's staying, will be for 10 movies. And
damn, that many?
Damn.
The reason I say 10, I believe it will be 3 movies starring, then a bunch of feature payments and appearances, which is what Robert Downey Jr. has now. He's there. Now he's there on a continual basis where it's feature, or he's getting points in certain movies and just continue down the line. Mm-hmm. Ben Affleck does the same thing, so it's not like he's not going to do stuff like that in there. So I think it just makes perfect sense in his case. So if he does that, I think that's the case. We'll see how that all. I think it's all after Justice League. Once that drops,
I think that's when they're going to make the decision.
That's when we know. Okay, after Justice League, look, Justice League has this great reviews. Great opening weekend. You're going to hear Man of Steel 2 right after.
I think that's what they're saving it for after that season.
Yeah. So
I mean, after that movie,
yeah.
then he's back to life, and they're not spoiling anything.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it would be. We'll
Oh,
see how
and
it
then
goes.
here's some other news that wasn't in the notes, but for you True Detective fans, the guy Marasha Ali is casted in True Detective season 3.
Yeah, he was cast last week.
Wherever that story is, he was casted. Whatever they decide to do.
Oh, and speaking of movie review, I didn't do a review, but I got to see Dark Tower, and I have not read the books. I read the comic books that came out. I didn't finish it, but I read at least maybe 7 or 8. So here's my take on Dark Tower. It's a good movie. It's also part 5 of the movie. It should not have been the first movie.
Well, it's part 5 because of the book series.
It's not. No, it's part. Like, why did you make it part 5? That's how. When you watch this movie, you're gonna watch it. And my buddy, one of my buddies who was there in the theater when it came out, he says, "I liked it. It was fun, but I felt like there were so many things that I was missing out. I missed somewhere."
And then I heard this: Sony is gauging interest now because remember, it was planned that they were going to do the Dark Tower TV verse.
Oh, they should have done this show. It should have been a show on Netflix
And then
HBO.
the movie.
And no need to do a movie. Nah, not at all.
Oh.
Just do a show. It's 5 books, I think. So you can really spend
7.
So 7 books, yeah.
7 books.
Yeah,
you can do.
You can do exactly. Think about it. And you're doing 1 movie. You can do,
Bro, 1 book could be a season.
1 book a season, and you map that thing out. And I mean, that would have been absolutely crazy. Now,
Well, the Expanse did 2 seasons for 1 book. The Leviathan Wakes was the first 2 seasons.
Yeah. So here's the other thing too. Now, in terms of the characters, Idris Elba as the gunslinger was on point. What's his name again? Matthew McConaughey as the Man in Black. I liked him as the Man in Black. I really did. I didn't see enough of that. There were things he did that were just evil, and you're like, oh, I want to see more. And then,
isn't there a scene where he's now entered our world and he's just walking around, and some guy walks up to him and says, like, "Stop breathing"?
Yeah, he loves doing that to a lot of people. You know, when he wants to kill you, he just looks at you because like he goes to this spoiler here. He goes to the main character's house. That's the boy to talk to the parents, and he's cooking. He's like, in my world, there's no steak. And and the parents come in, like, who are you? He's like, stop there. And he's like, that's you. He's talking. And the husband, who's not his dad, but the husband is like, I'm going to stop you. And he's just like, stop breathing. I mean, the way he casually did it was like, I just want to talk to the mother. Stop breathing. No, come with me. Show me your son's room. Show me everything about your son. You know how Matthew McConaughey plays his role. So it's very casual. It's very casual, but it's one of those where you're like, this guy is really, really bad. And I wanted to see more of that because you could tell that at this point, his character felt more like, I'm at the end of what I want to do and I'm winning. So I don't have to be overtly evil. So I just need to do what I need to do, as opposed to maybe early on where he really was terrorizing people left and right. And, there's a scene also showing how he fought the gunslingers and he wiped out all the gunslingers except Roland, who's the main character, Idris Elba's character. So there's a lot of that. That's why when I watched it, I was like, man, if he was given this role in a TV show, he would be, to me, the Man in Black is one of the best. He makes Darth Vader look like a child. Literally looks like a child. And Matthew McConaughey had the opportunity to do that, but for a movie like this, there's no way at all. Because he's just, if Darth Vader faced him, he would just told him, like, he would tell him his air support to just stop working. Kill yourself. I mean, doesn't matter. He's just that bad. He's a very evil person. And
I kind of want to see Dark Tower now.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. You watch it and you will do the same thing I'm doing, where you're going like,
they picked the wrong place to start this shit.
Yeah, I mean, the acting was fine. The boy was okay. I get it. If you're a fan of the book, you will not like this movie because there's so many things that are not there. I read the graphic novels, and I was like, there's still a lot of things that are not there. I didn't like where they started, but on the movie merit on its own, the problem is the movie itself also didn't take risks. It was very cookie cutter. So it started and it wrapped nicely. Which
like
it's
a friend of ours, he read most of the books. I'm not sure where he finished, but he was like, he was very upset how they did the casting because of the dynamic in the books. There's a lot of racial tension between the two characters. No, and he was afraid the movie wasn't going to do that.
What I mean, racial tension? They're both white in the book, or at least they do their skin.
Roland is white in the book.
Yeah, Roland's white in the book, and the Man in Black is technically white also, I guess you want to put it that way.
Yeah, but they made Roland black in the movie, so that racial tensions can exist now.
Yeah, they can exist, but it wasn't even the matter of racial tensions existed. It was the fact of what the gunslingers represented. They hinted at that, they didn't show it. You could tell Idris Elba was trying to tell us what it was, but they didn't mention it either. So it was that kind of thing where, the gunslingers are from the line of King Arthur. Their guns are made from Excalibur, which is why they are magical. They don't necessarily explain that fully, why that can kill anything out there. No, it's not just him shooting.
So that explains why he was able to shoot through a wall, through a mirror, all sorts of other shit, and hit the guy in the head.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, like the gunslingers also have their own skill sets too. It's not like they will magic or anything. It's just like being a gunslinger, you come from a certain line of families, it's a lineage that is passed down. So that also wasn't told. It was mentioned. It wasn't told to the kind of extent that I like.
I'm gonna look this up and see if I can find it on audiobook and maybe give it a whirl.
Yeah, it's really
I pose for us. I know Charles has it. I know you can get it, but we could all have Ready Player One, the audiobook. We listen to that before that movie comes out. So I know you probably already done it.
Yeah, I've done it twice.
But
I'll do it again for the movie.
Lou, I know what you're getting at. You want us to listen, or at least to read or listen Ready Player One before the movie comes out. That way we can compare the movie to the book. But the thing is that I've been trying to listen to the audiobook, but the audiobook has become very distracting to me. It's hard for me to envision what he's saying because I'm listening to what he's saying, but it's hard for me to think about each scene. I've had to listen to the same chapter 3 or 4 times now just to be able to get an idea of what he's talking about.
What are you doing when you're listening to it?
I'm surfing Google Plus, reading Facebook.
That's your problem. Sure, you know how? Here's the key to listening to audiobooks. You lay down in your bed and you just get in a relaxed position. You shut your eyes and you go with the flow.
Dude, I can't stay stationary for that long, dude. No, but I'm playing a video game.
Even if you're walking around. So when I listen to audiobooks, so I've been listening to Commonwealth Saga, and the Commonwealth. You think that thing is deep? Commonwealth Saga is a storyline where human beings live around the galaxy in about 200 different worlds. They have wormholes. Human beings can live up to 1,000 years. They have regenerations. They have tech that does not exist that they keep talking about. All these different worlds and different names, and everything is like this. There's some human beings that have multiple bodies with one brain, and they share the same brain waves across all bodies. And so,
alrighty then.
Yeah, one character basically, his first body was an older black man. He has a younger white male body. He has a mid-aged Asian body. Because he owned a business and he wanted to run his business himself. So it's concepts like that are trippy, left and right. And whenever I listen, if I walk out, if I'm coming back on my walk home, and once I'm really into it, I just sit down on the couch there
and just turn your mind off and enjoy it.
And headphones. Now, if I'm doing stuff, I still would put on the headphones. I could put it on my speakers, but I would put up headphones. I'll walk around and do stuff. I just don't read anything at all. I mean, sometimes I can do it. Yeah, because because then you remember your brain is actually your brain is now reading two things at the same time, which is one is audio coming in and you're trying to now visualize the world. The second one is this. So it's basically if you guys were talking and I'm reading stuff here, eventually at some point I'll go, huh, what? Yeah. Yeah, sure. And it just always happens. So usually I try to just
Charles is good at that.
I'll do something else other than read. So just don't read while this is the other movie.
All right, well then you know what? Fine. When later tonight, when I'm lying in my bed about to go to sleep, I'll probably
come on. And also, man, it's Will Wheaton who does the narration for this.
I know. I expected it. I would enjoy it more, but
what chapter are you on?
I'm still
in high school, right?
I'm still on chapter 0.
Is he? Have you gone to has he gone to high school yet?
No, it's still the narration where he's doing the narration talking about that video of like the billionaire talking about
when he passed away, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm still at. Yeah.
I mean, Luke, he's much better in what's the book? The Commonwealth Saga, the very first book. The British guy does this very weird enunciation, and he's like, well, and I'm like, the character didn't sound like that when he's just trying to land a spaceship. I mean, I know that. I know he's not going to sound like it, but he does that. And I told Sam, I was like, I can't listen to this, right? Sam is like, just, and that was the same thing. That was just chapter 0 also, which is only a page and a half. And I was like, Sam, I can't listen to this. He's like, just pay attention because there's something that happens. And I mean, it's the beginning of the book. It's the coolest thing because it's narrating man's first flight to Mars, the first manned Mars mission. And, the pilot is talking about how like he envisions himself as the first man who walked on the moon, like he did it by himself back in the day. It was great. He's like, well, I have a machine now that flies an autopilot or land there, but no, he's like, screw that. He's like, no, he actually said, fuck it. So when the guy said, fuck it with his fuck it, character, that's how he says it. I kid you not. That's how he says it.
And what's the name of this book series? It sounds interesting to me.
It's called the Commonwealth Saga.
The Commonwealth Saga.
Okay. Yeah, 5 books. And
all right, I'm adding it to the wish list.
And he lands, so he turns off autopilot. He flies in, he lands. It's like the winds were blowing, but I was able to handle that. And then he gets out, and he's like, I touch on the ground. He's like, no, he was a pilot. He's not supposed to be the first person to get out of the ship. It's the captain, right? And he looked at the captain. The captain was like, go ahead, because he landed it manually. So he talks about how he gets out of the ship. He makes that step. He walks around the ship to the other side, takes a couple of steps, and then he hears the worst thing he's ever heard in his life that ruined his life forever. What's up, dudes? And I was like, wait. At first I was like, were those aliens that said, what's up, dudes? And then you realize 2 scientists from Caltech developed wormholes and decided to test the wormhole. The first test was to open a wormhole to Mars right when he landed his ship. And they just walked through from on the other side of the wormhole was the lab in University of California. And these guys were there, just like, what's up, dudes? And that's how the book begins. And it kind of jumps to the future at some point. But yeah, when I got to that point, I was like, all right, I'm in. All right, cool.
That sounds funny as shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so it's like Lou said, just try not to read 2 things at the same time.
Yeah. All right. That's always been the key. How I've people say, "Oh, you're not." No, I don't like to read. I could do audiobooks a lot better than reading.
Mm-hmm.
So I sit back, relax. Like when my wife goes to work, I ain't got many things to watch. I'll pop on an audiobook and just chill. Lay down on the bed. I could get 10 chapters deep sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it is, it's fascinating. With the Commonwealth Saga, remember when Lou, you asked me about some shows, I didn't watch anything for 2 weeks. Because all I did was I would be recording video. I had the headphones on because I'm recording B-roll and stuff. I record all my B-roll and listen. And it would tell you the length of the chapters. Some of my chapters were 3 hours long, 4 hours. And I'm like, I am finishing this chapter before I move to the next. I don't care. They're riveting, but I definitely I suggest also, guys, as you're watching, Ready Player One, whether read the book or the audiobook, it is a fun book once you get past chapter 0, like
Charles is struggling.
Just saying.
I mean, I do have a certain gesture that I would throw your way right now, but we're live, so I'm just gonna hold off.
You are too kind.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, Charles, I know we're about to end this, but were you able to watch Preacher?
The most recent Preacher, yeah, I was able to watch it. Yeah, why?
Your brief review, because I gave up on the show. He was busy.
You really shouldn't have given up on it because it's getting good.
I just don't care.
Honestly, all right.
I don't care for the characters in the show. Besides,
there is.
I like Cassidy and I like Ruth, but I don't care for Jesse. Tulip. I enjoy Tulip. I just don't care for Jesse. Jesse's taking me out.
To be honest, I would have to say I have 2 main issues with this season. And these issues are pretty big because they are very pivotal for character development and all that. I don't like Tulip's whole run with PTSD. I don't like it. I think they're stretching it out pretty far. I mean, it's not really bad. It's just kind of like, really? I mean, this is like going above and beyond. It's just, eh. And then, of course, the whole Jesse thing where he's going from bar to bar and jazz and all that stuff, saying like, have you seen God? Where's God? And he just keeps doing that over and over again. Look, I understand it's like a priest walks into a bar looking for God. It's like the starting to a bad joke. And they just kept doing it. And then there was this most recent episode where he went to this sort of knockoff of Best Buy where he talked to those tech guys that were a knockoff of like Geek Squad and wanted them to sort of like examine the video footage that he found of them of heaven killing a guy and then sending him to heaven so he can pretend to be God whenever somebody like tries to talk to him. And he wants to find out who shot the guy so he can like use him to find God. And that whole thing is just getting, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to say the best part of the season so far is what's going on between Cassidy and Dennis. I think that is awesome. You don't know this, but the old guy, Dennis, that Cassidy and them are living with, that's Cassidy's son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's Cassidy's son.
Why is he so old?
It looks like he doesn't pass down.
Because he was born in the 1940s?
But yet Cassidy's so young.
Vampire!
Yeah.
He didn't pass no genes to his kid?
Yeah. That's probably why his son is pissed at him. Not because he's a vampire or he's old. It's because he didn't give him the
well, no. What's going on here? The reason why I like it so much is because Dennis is dying from basically heart failure, is what he's dying from, and he wants Cassidy to bite him so he can live forever and live. And Cassidy is refusing to do it because he doesn't want his son to go through the same hell he goes through every day, which I'm actually inclined to be okay with Cassidy's decision. But at the end of the most recent episode...
Don't spoil it.
Oh, all right. I won't say it. Okay.
See, now you just got people intrigued. You gotta hold back.
All right. Yes. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. My review for Preacher is over. Moving right along.
All righty.
We got Game of Thrones tomorrow. I'm not allowed to talk about it, but we got it.
All right. Yes.
Did you already watch it?
What did he say?
Did you already watch it?
No, I just know what's going to happen through the whole season.
Yes.
Because you looked at the leaked scripts.
Lou knows the story before.
I am the three-eyed raven.
Yeah. So three-eyed raven Lou is coming back. And
don't worry, we will get Warren to hum that damn tune.
Well, if we actually join him. So yeah, join us tomorrow, guys, for Game of Thrones 10:15. We'll be up episode 5, right?
Yep.
Episode 5, and we really think about it. After that, 2 more episodes. Game of Thrones will be done in August.
At the end of August, that's fine.
Yeah.
And we only got 3 more episodes left in Power, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so we'll see. But anyway, guys, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Everyone, thanks for joining in and chiming in.
Charles watches Game of Thrones. Is just, we have our group.
We have a full crew. So
if you really want to see Charles's reaction, you could join us on the Geeks of the Round channel on Monday nights around 10 p.m. Give or take.
So that's why you haven't been inviting me to the board at work calls for Game of Thrones, because you have like 10 people.
We have like 5 people on that. So yeah, it's full. I put a cap on it last year. There were a couple of people wanting to join. And I was like, no, unless somebody is subbing out. But yeah.
Oh, so you don't want more than 5 people?
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that crew was already set in stone, bro.
All right, whatever. It's no big deal. I can always talk about it on Geeks of the Round.
So yeah,
and we can always recap it on Saturdays as well.
Yes.
Yeah, we could recap it and give our thoughts for tomorrow. Actually, no recap. Give our thoughts minus the 3-eyed Raven over here.
Well, then I won't say shit.
Exactly. Yeah, we just keep you out of it as usual. Because this is what happens. Lou will go. This is what Lou does. I think everybody's like, no, shut up. We don't want to hear anything. He's like, no, I was just speculating. Like, stop lying. You're trying to throw in something that's going to happen as a rumor.
Can't fault me, man. I got to try somehow.
We're watching all the time. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel. And also, hey, if you want to watch Game of Thrones and HBO and all that stuff, we have a link for Set TV. It's only $20 for 500 channels. You also get HBO, as well as MLB Network, NBA, NFL.
Football season's back, guys. $20 and you're getting the NFL ticket.
Yes.
You can't beat that. And here's the kicker. If you really want to watch that stupid fight, August 26th, $20 gets you in.
Wait, are you talking about like McGregor versus Mayweather?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought they got canceled.
Why would it get canceled?
I thought McGregor got disqualified or something.
By who?
I heard that he like violated some bylaws in one of the organizations that disqualified him from the fight.
No.
Oh, dude, they're making sure this fight happens.
The amount of money that is picking up on this fight, they now have movie theater screenings for the fight and all that stuff. So, no. That fight's
right.
But like I said, dude, we got it. I finally got it working on the Fire Stick. There's a way to do it. It is not a bad service for $20.
Yeah. So use the link down below. Check it out. Set TV. And want to say thank you and always enjoy entertainment.
Bye-bye.